Guys, Brian from the future. During the editing and everything else of this last video, got notification that some of the information just wasn't right. So I'm going to go through this as quick as I can, that way we can get into motorcycle awareness. Okay. With ABATE, there's 21 regions in Michigan, not 22. The main reason why most people were getting towed wasn't because of the health insurance and all that. It was because they didn't have their CY. So make sure you have your CY. Another thing about the helmet law, you gotta be 21, not 18. At 21, if you have all your stuff together, then you can ride without a helmet. But not 18. ABATE, again, I want to push this point very clearly, is all about your choice on the helmets. Okay, that's what we want. Some people in ABATE absolutely despise helmets. Other people wear them every day. So there's that. Helmets are designed to do what they do. They protect your noggin. They're not going to do anything else to protect your body. So you go down, you get ran over, you get impaled.
Oh, look at that.
Scary one there.
I've been impaled.
Helmet's not going to help you. But again, your choice. We were talking about getting money back from when you get your tags, stuff like that. ABATE does not get money from that. And as far as the CY courses, we have some members that do participate. They'll go out and teach courses, but that is not ABATE, okay? Like out at the community college. But we do participate. And again, I really wanted to give a shout out to Leroy, Big Sexy, for sitting down, doing this video with me. It was a riot, so make sure you grab your favorite lemonade, kick back, watch two bikers talk about motorcycle awareness. Alright guys, let's get to the actual video. Alright guys, welcome back to ABATE Michigan, a new beginning. I'm Brian, aka Bubble Wrap. I'm here with Leroy. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hey guys, I'm Leroy, aka Big Sexy. I got my road name about 25 years ago. I've been an ABATE member for 33 years. 10 years ago, I got promoted up to the board on the state. And then 2 years ago, I got promoted to State Awareness Officer. So May is Motorcycle Awareness Month. I talked to Brian here and asked if we could do some kind of broadcast to talk about motorcycle safety.
And again, May is Motorcycle Awareness, and I mean, we can't be ABATE brothers and sisters and say we do motorcycle awareness and not have something out there for them, you know?
Right.
So, well, this is more or less your show. Where you want to run with it?
Well, if you're not a ABATE member and you really don't know much about ABATE, and hopefully you start learning more, May is Motorcycle Awareness Month. We go into driver's ed schools and we teach teenagers getting their license on how to share the road with us. We show them some videos and some accidents. We talk about what we wear. As a biker, you know, when you're wearing your leathers, why you wear it. And we teach the kids on how bikes react on the road different than cars, and how we are asking them to give us our space, our distance, and that. How to look at how can I say this without making it sound funny? How to stay off their phones.
Yeah,
and pay attention to us.
Yeah,
you know?
Because you and I both have experience. I'll be riding in a right lane, you know, and there's plenty of room for, like, when we do rides side by side or staggered.
Right.
But we're still in the same lane. I've had cars just kind of start drifting over thinking they got all the room in the world.
Yeah, unfortunately, knock on wood, I have been hit 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I've been knocked off my bike 3 times.
Ooh.
Once I was like 22 years old.
All right.
I was riding down the road doing 40 miles an hour, and this teenage girl backed out of her driveway right in front of me.
Oh.
I hit the driver's side fender and flew over the hood of her car and landed in her yard.
Oh.
You know, back when you're in your early 20s, you can bounce well.
Right.
I bounced well. Another time I was driving through Detroit,
All right.
and a car turned right on red right in front of me. And I ended up locking my bike up and laying it on its side. And I let go, and the bike slid underneath the back of the car, and I slid right down the driver's side of the road.
Well, you got lucky there.
Very lucky, but thank God I was wearing my leathers, because my chaps and my leather coat was shot. They were ruined. They were ruined. Lost a sweatshirt in it, because it was November, so I lost my sweatshirt.
Right.
I don't know the scars. And the last time I was hit, I was driving through a little village, and a guy backed out of his driveway as I was going by at 20 miles an hour, and he pinned my left leg between my bike and the bumper of his van. Knee surgery twice. So yeah,
no burns from the exhaust or nothing.
No, the exhaust kind of went out to the side.
Okay.
The back of the van. Yeah. Totaled my bike out on that one.
Well,
So yeah. So I really got into the awareness part of ABATE because I don't want to see bikers hit. I don't want to see bikers killed. I've been teaching for over 20 years doing this because the last accident I was involved in, if people, you all don't know me, but I used to be a firefighter.
Right.
For our local fire department. Paid on call, started out volunteer, then we started getting paid on call. The accident messed up my leg so bad, I had to take a year off of the fire department. And when I went back, I didn't feel as strong as I should have been. And when you're on the fire department, you're there to save lives and that. And I was afraid that if I got into a situation, I might not be able to save a person's life.
Right.
So I just kind of told the fire department I was done. And when I did that, I left a big hole in my heart. And ABATE really started pushing the awareness program at that point.
All right.
So I become a teacher, local instructor at driver's ed schools. And over the years, as any volunteer organization is, longer you're there, longer you get kind of volunteer for more positions. And over 33 years, I've worked myself up to the state awareness officer.
Now, it's very important you all understand this. Leroy here actually himself does go into driver ed and teaching. So it's not like we're saying we do this, but yet we're giving money to someone else to do it. This is something ABATE actually does.
Yes, the instructors who teach these awareness classes in driver's ed schools is all volunteer. We do it with no money, no nothing. It's our passion to teach kids on how to look out for us bikers. And I'm not just talking ABATE bikers. I'm talking all bikers.
Yeah.
Independents, club members. We teach for them to look out for all of us guys and ladies, not just certain people. We teach them to look out for everybody on a motorcycle and bicycles.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, a lot of them kids don't even understand bicycles.
No, they don't see them. They don't see us.
They don't see us. I mean, that's the biggest thing. So we're there to teach about anything on 2 wheels and 3 wheels now.
Right.
As we're getting older, some of us are stepping to 3-wheelers. I haven't gotten there yet, but you know, I also have a birthday last month.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm getting up into those higher digit numbers. So not saying I ain't going to get to a trike one of these days.
Right.
But no, all the teachers are volunteer.
Right.
If you all don't know where we live as far southeast in Michigan as you can get. All right? And last week I went all the way up to Fowlerville, up by Lansing, and taught a class because they wanted a teacher up there, and they wanted somebody that they were testing us out to see if we would fit in their program, and the lady likes us very well, so we're going to be teaching up there.
Oh boy!
I'm hoping to get a couple local teachers in that area, local ABATE members,
Right.
because that's an hour and 45-minute drive for me.
Right.
To teach a class voluntarily. Don't mean I won't do it, but if I could find somebody a little closer, it would be very appreciated.
Well, this is one way to reach out as well.
I'm hoping.
So, yeah, no, it was like when we first started discussing this, we were at the seminar.
Yes.
And, of course, some idiot had to stand up and open his mouth, a.k.a. me. But no, this is one of the main points of the channel, is so that we can reach out, we can have different ways to teach, we have different ways for people that actually know about us, look out for us, everything else.
Yes. And other ways that we do that is ABATE has yard signs.
Yep.
You know, you got a small one up here. He's got a beautiful small one. But we also have the larger ones, the bigger ones.
The big ones in the yard.
We sell those to help pay for the awareness program, because every every kid we teach, young adult we teach, every kid gets a pin. It has ABATE on it, tells them look twice. We hope as they use the pen, they remember to look out for us. Every kid, adult, gets a keychain. That way they put the keys on the keychain on their keys, and it's a little motorcycle.
Yep.
And it says ABATE on one side, and on the other side it says look twice.
Mm-hmm.
So every kid gets those. We also have wristbands.
Yeah.
I wear a couple.
I got a couple here.
Yep. We have wristbands. I give those to the students to get 100%. That meant they were paying attention to us.
Yeah.
I was at one driver's ed school that if the kids missed more than 2, the guy wouldn't give them their license, their certificate. He made them come back and sit through the class again till they got at least only missed 2 questions, because he believed that our safety, all biker safety, was very important. he really loved about what ABATE does on education.
That's awesome.
Awesome. I had one student I seen 3 times. I did. I seen him 3 times. And on the 3rd time I looked at him, I said, "Are you actually going to pay attention today?" And he just looked at me, he says, "Yes." And that time he passed.
All right.
Yeah, I did have one student 3 times. It's like, man, how hard is this? You know, they're not very hard questions.
Right.
But you got to pay attention.
Right. One thing I would like to touch on, because my missus, my mother, and a couple other people I know are actually doing the course out at the college.
Yes.
Would you care to enlighten about that?
At your community colleges, ABATE does a 3-day training session for people to get their license. Unfortunately, back in my days, there was nothing. ABATE started that in the early 80s.
All right.
So back when I got my license, back before a young man like you were even born.
No, I was here in the 80s, early 80s.
You're right. You're the same age as my son.
Yep.
So, but back then, you just went to the Secretary of State, took the written test, went out back, and you did a little obstacle course, and they gave you your license. They didn't care if you knew how to really ride or not,
right,
as long as you go through the obstacle course.
Right.
Well, as ABATE members, we believe in safety, awareness, safety, and that. So we started a training program that all the dealerships now use.
Yeah.
Okay? The difference is you go through the community college with our program, it only costs you $50.
Meanwhile, I went through Harley and I did the basic and advanced, and it cost me over $400.
Right. The basic at Harley Davidson dealership is $350.
Yeah.
The advanced course is another $100.
$120 now.
All right. Well, they've gone
Either
up.
Either way, yeah.
We used to be $25, and now we've had to go to $50 because of the cost of everything. It's
right,
raising up. Don't you love our government? Everything keeps going up. But yeah, at the community colleges, you go out there and you take the course, and for $50, when you're done, we take all your information and we send it to Lansing for you.
Yep.
And then your license comes in the mail 7 to 10 days later to your house. There's no more going to the Secretary of State, nothing. We do it all for you with the ABATE. And reason we can afford to do that with the small cost is everybody who buys a motorcycle license plate, $2 out of your license plate fee goes to our awareness program in training.
Yep.
So when you all look at your license plates and say, my license plate costs $29, your license costs $27, $2 of it comes to ABATE
so that
for
we
the
can
training.
keep training and
At
keep
a low
people-
cost.
Yep.
To get more people trained. Because we found out as ABATE, there's a lot of people out there riding motorcycles that shouldn't be riding motorcycles because they were never properly trained.
Right, they don't have their CY, they never went through an actual course, nothing. They just probably came up like me, riding dirt bikes and everything, and then just jumped on a street bike.
Right. Even me, even though I had my license for so long, I even went back and took the advanced course at the college. Just to be able to know.
Yeah.
And even, excuse me, even funny, when I took it, and I was riding bikes for a long time, I learned some things. And the instructor, even knew I knew the instructor, he joked around with me. He says, now you know why we like to train new drivers. Because older you get, bad habits you get, and it takes us a while to break you from your bad habits.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, if you're thinking of getting a motorcycle and that, you should go take the course before you really start riding a lot on your own, because you will learn much more through that driving course at the college than you will ever learn on your own.
Not just the paperwork and all that, but I mean, they actually put you on a bike and work you through clutch usage, rear brake usage, how to emergency stop, how to emergency maneuver. They teach you all kinds of stuff, and it's really worth the while.
You can tell you a joke about that one?
Sure.
Kind of serious, but joke. I have 2 sons. There's 7 years difference between them. Okay? Both my boys took the course at the same time. All right? You know my oldest boy. You went to school with him.
Yep.
My youngest boy, like I said, was 7 years longer. On Saturday, because it's a Friday afternoon, a Saturday, and a Sunday course. On Saturday, my oldest boy calls me up and says, Dad, my youngest boy kept stalling the bike out. Couldn't keep it. Every time he let off the clutch, he stalled it out.
Yep.
And he joked with me. He says, I thought he knew how to ride. I said, he's been riding his little dirt bike around. He's nervous. Give him a chance. He'll pass. So Saturday, my boy comes home. My oldest boy went to his house. Sunday, he picked him up and took him out there. And at 12:30, my youngest boy calls me on the phone and says, Dad, can you come pick me up? I said, ain't you guys done? He said, I am, but the oldest boy, as he was going through the obstacle course, he laid the bike down.
Oh no! Well, it's better to do it there than out on the road or whatever.
So they wouldn't pass him.
Nope.
But being a lifelong ABATE member and that, I don't know if they do it for everybody or what, but they let my oldest one wait till after everybody else was done, and they gave him a second chance. I think they do it for everybody, but I'm not sure.
Well, even at the Harley dealership, during practice, if you lay the bike down twice, you're done. You got to retake the course. So, I mean, if he only did it once, they probably do that for everybody.
I would hope so, okay? But I went back out, so I said, okay, I'm on my way. And by the time I drove out to the college, which is, at that point, 5 miles from my house, I get out there, the oldest boy's walking across the parking lot. And I said, so what's up? He said, I passed. And I looked at the youngest one and I said, you really had to call me out here? You couldn't wait an extra 20 minutes? You know? But both my boys took the course. Both my boys passed the course. My youngest daughter is going to be taking the course here soon. She ain't that young anymore, but she's going to be taking the course.
All right.
Because her fiance is buying her a bike.
Oh, all right.
So I will have 3 out of my 4 biological children riding motorcycles this summer.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I also have 2 stepchildren. Actually, I got 4 stepchildren. I've had a lot. I've been married a few times.
Yeah.
My 2, not only 1 out of the 4 stepchildren rides a motorcycle. Matthew, if you ever met Matt, he's the veteran.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
So he went out and took the course.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to be riding too.
Nice. And like I said, my mom's boyfriend, and Kristen are all taking the course in July. So there's 3 more riders.
It's a very good course.
Yeah.
And the instructors, I've known some of them for a long time. They joke around. They like virgin riders. They like people that don't have bad habits that they can teach the right way right off the bat. But that's stuff that ABATE does. That's why when you hear about ABATE, you got to understand that we are 50-50 on what we stand for. And 50% of what we stand for is education.
Yep.
And out of that 50%, 50% of that is training people how to ride a motorcycle. And the other 50% of that part of us is teaching people how to look out for us.
Right. And getting the word out.
And we were talking earlier about my accidents.
Yeah.
The funny part is, I only was hit by 1 teenager. The other 2 were in their 60-year-old and 70-year-old men driving cars. And I don't want to be aged here, but I do believe after a certain age, you should have to go and take a refresher course to drive.
Yes,
because,
I agree 100%
because
with that.
your reaction slowed down, everything slows down. Why does it have to be up to the children to tell their parents, that's it, you're done driving? We have restrictions on everything else in our life. There should be an age that people should have to go and take a refresher course. And I'm getting there. I'm not trying to say I'm not. I'm getting there. That I should have. There should be a point that, as awareness officer, and that for trying to keep people safe, I'm a firm believer that there should be an age that everybody should have to go take a refresher course.
And not just age, but like going through what I went through with my father and my ex's dad. They were sick. Came a point where it's like, what are we doing? We can't let you drive anymore. So as far as you saying it's up to us, the kids, to tell our parents, no, you're not doing that. I fully agree. We should have some sort of refresher course or even a small course.
My wife, my mother-in-law, she's 82 years old. She's sharp as a whip. So as her son-in-law, I have no problem with her driving.
Right.
But I also had a 73-year-old mother that I believed back in the day that her license should have been gone years before. But they weren't until the doctor told her she couldn't drive no more.
Exactly.
Right? But again, it come up to the doctor where I believe there should be at a certain point, we as people should have to take a refresher course. And I'm not trying to sound any certain way. I'm a truck driver. Professionally, I'm a truck driver. I've seen it all.
Oh, yeah.
I joke with the kids when I teach classes. You name it, I've hauled it. In 44 years of driving, name it, I've hauled it.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't nothing out there I haven't hauled. My driver's license looks like the alphabet. I have every endorsement you can get. So there ain't nothing out there I haven't
Right.
hauled.
Right.
So even me, as the government say, a professional, I've seen some professionals that shouldn't be driving too.
Yep.
But as a professional, I even believe at a certain point I should have to go take a refresher course
Yeah. No, well, yeah.
to keep driving.
Well, you see it on the roads. I see it on the roads. It doesn't matter if it's a truck driver or a car or a kid learning to drive. One of the other things we really got to focus on is our own awareness as riders.
Oh yes,
I mean,
definitely.
You got to be able to read the road. You got to be able to read the vehicles. Like every time I come up to, let's say, a stoplight, I'm paying attention to which way those tires are turning, who's creeping forward, who's jumping off the brake a little. You know, part of awareness isn't strictly on everybody in vehicles. It's up to us as riders ourselves to make sure you pay attention to your environment. You know your spot. You know your escape routes. That way, even if they mess up, you got a better chance of surviving.
Right, like I said about the first accident. When that guy, it's not the first one, the second one. When that guy turned right in front of me, it was in town.
Yeah.
And you know, I couldn't see him because the car's making lefts and going straight. I didn't see because of 3-lane. And when he pulled right out in front of me, so if I couldn't see him, I know he didn't see me.
Right, exactly.
And he pulled right out in front of me, and I locked that bike up and laid it down on the side. And the funny part about that was, I got the ticket.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Even though he was making an illegal right?
yeah.
Wow.
Because the guy that did it was that little town, that part of towns,
Yeah.
the mayor, it was his dad.
Oh,
You think the police are going to give him a ticket? No, they gave me a ticket. Went to court, and because I told the cop, I'm fighting this thing. How's this my fault? Cop never showed up. They threw the ticket out. But again, it was me having to take a day off from work to go fight a ticket that I shouldn't have got, and that. But yeah, it's the things that happen to us bikers that never happen to other people.
No.
It is hilarious on how they profile a lot of bikers for different things. So I don't want to stop nobody from riding. I think riding motorcycles is the greatest thing in the world. As a kid, I grew up with horses.
Yep.
I loved going out, getting on the horse and riding and having the wind and all that. So as I grew older and we got rid of our horses and that, of course, dirt bikes, street bikes, just to feel the wind.
Yep.
And 13 years ago, when we got the helmet law changed,
Yep.
on April the 13th, that was a great day. Actually, the governor signed it on April 12th.
Oh,
at
all right.
like 10:30 at night.
Okay.
But it didn't really take effect until Friday the 13th, and it was on a Friday. I thought we finally got to feel the air blow through your hair and all that again. I'm not saying, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I have a full head of hair.
He does.
I have a full head of hair. I have a nice one and that, but shit, I lost my thing. Being able to ride without a helmet again is so great because I rode with a helmet for many years. But as an awareness guy, as an instructor, and that, I know there's certain times that I should be wearing a helmet, and I do.
Right.
I start work at 5 o'clock at night. I get off at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, when I'm riding to work into Detroit by myself, I have a helmet on my head. Because I'm one bike out there on the highway by myself.
Yep.
When I get off work in the morning, again, I'm one bike by myself. Late at night, early in the morning, I have a helmet on my head. But when we do things together as a bunch of us brother, sister bikers, you know, as we do, and even when I ride with with some clubs and that, as long as I'm in a nice big group, I don't wear a helmet. I enjoy it without a helmet.
See now,
But that's my privilege.
right? It should be the writer's right to decide.
To choose, yes.
See now, you see me. I always wear at least a peanut helmet.
Right?
But that's because I promised my dad before he died that if I ever got back in the saddle, I would wear a helmet. So that's why I personally always wear a helmet, even if it's just a little peanut one.
See, you promised your dad you'd always wear a helmet, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I grew up, I had to promise my dad that any artwork I did on my body, I had to be able to cover it up with a shirt.
I
See,
almost
all my tattoos, and I have a few different
Yeah.
ones. All of them go from the just above the wrist up, and I can button it up, and because he made me promise that if I went to a church or a funeral, that even though I had artwork, nobody could see it.
right.
And you promised your dad you always wear a helmet. I promised my dad that. I never had to worry about promising my dad about a helmet because my dad passed away when I was so young that he did.
Yeah.
And I was the only kid in the family at that point. It was a rider.
Now look at your family.
Yeah, now all my brothers ride.
Right.
So yeah, at that point I was the only one that rode, and we had to wear helmets back then. So I never had to promise him anything like that. Please don't look down at me now.
Right.
But yeah, I think the choice that ABATE has fought for in Lansing to give bikers the choice to wear or not wear a helmet is fine. But there's a big, I want to tell Paul about it. There's a big difference that you guys should know about. Michigan does have a helmet law.
Yes, they do.
Have you talked about this before?
No, not on the channel. No.
Okay. We have a helmet law, guys and girls. Our law states this. You've had to have your license more than 2 years or took the safety course. You have to be an adult, so that means you have to be over 18, all right, to go without a helmet. Second of all, you have to have an extra medical coverage of a minimum of $20,000 to ride without a helmet.
Yep.
And those are the rules you have to obey. You have to have your license.
Yeah.
You definitely have to have a license. The first 2 years that our helmet law changed to an adult choice, is what they consider adult choice,
Okay.
they let people slide. If you didn't have the medical coverage and you were without a helmet, they wrote you a helmet ticket and told you to get the coverage or wear a helmet.
Yep.
And that. They gave you time. After 2 years, the government stepped up and said enough's enough. If you're riding a motorcycle right now and you don't wear a helmet and you don't have the medical coverage and you ain't had your license and you get pulled over, they're hooking your bike and they're hauling it away. They're not letting you ride away no more. So now, besides the helmet ticket you're going to get a tow bill ticket, and you're going to get a storage ticket.
Yep.
That you're going to have to pay for. And if any of y'all ever notice tow trucks, they're not very gentle with our bikes when they hook them and took them.
Nope.
So please, if you're deciding to ride without a helmet, make sure you have your license and make sure you get your extra medical coverage. Or put your helmet on. Even if it's the little
peanut
helmet.
Yep.
Get a helmet on your head, because if you break the law and they stop you, they're going to hook your bike now.
Oh yeah, and you got to make sure it's at least dot regulated. If your helmet is not dot regulated, it doesn't have that little sticker on the back, doesn't count. It's the same thing as riding without a helmet.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
a lot of people don't know that. I got, I call it a fake peanut hanging on the wall downstairs. It is not regulated. It is not dot regulated.
When I teach my awareness classes at driver's ed schools, I take leathers. I have an old leather coat, chaps, vest, gloves, face masks, that kind of stuff, glasses. Because in Michigan, if you're driving anything faster than 35 miles an hour, you got to have glasses on. I carry an extra pair of boots. I carry all all the different helmets. I carry the full face, the 3/4, the half, the peanut shell.
Modular.
I even have a helmet that says this is not DOT approved, warning this is not DOT, stamped inside the helmet.
Oh, okay.
So I showed the kids all the different helmets, and I explain what they protect and what they don't protect.
Yep.
And I show them the illegal one and that, and I tell them, don't wear this helmet.
Nope, it won't
Now,
save you.
it ain't gonna save you. And second of all, if you're just wearing it for fun and that, around your house, fine. You do dirt biking, fine, but don't wear it out on the road.
Yeah.
So yes, that's stuff that we talk about. We talk about the lanes that we ride in. You know, your lane is the right side, the center, the left side. You know, where do you expect a biker to be?
I always try to ride the right of center of my lane.
Okay, that's, you prefer to ride there, right?
Yep.
Okay, I know guys in our group that like the middle of the lane.
Yeah, I never understood that.
They like being in the middle. And then you got guys like me, I like the left side. Because...
Or, I'm sorry, I like the left side, yeah. Because on the right, you get all the gravel and everything
The right
else.
side, you got the gravel, and you can see down the right side of the car. The left side, I ain't got the gravel, but I can see down the left side of the car. I can see people coming at me,
Yep.
seeing if they're going to make a left-hand turn. And I like being in the left side because I can see ahead of me on what's in front of me, and I get to see what's going on behind me.
you.
Like if somebody's trying to pass.
Yep.
If I'm out there in the left, and there's a car, me, and a truck, and somebody goes to pass the truck thinking they could cut in between the truck and the car, if I'm in the left side, as they come out, they see me, so they know they can't make it, so they might back off and get
Right.
in. That's why I like the left side. I feel safer out there because
Yep.
I'm more visible to everybody.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
You know? But I got two brothers that refuse to ride on the left side of the lane. They want that right side. They said they got the ditch to go to. That's why if bikers ride where we feel the safest.
Yeah.
And that's what I teach the kids. Don't think you know where a bike's going to be. A biker could be anywhere in that lane because that lane belongs to them. And that's what I hope everybody out there understands, that we ride where we feel the safest.
Yes, and when we're riding in a lane, even if we're by ourselves, we take up the same room as a vehicle. So you don't come over in the lane, you don't try to shortcut or come in behind. No, give us our space. We're in that lane, just pretend we're the size of a pickup truck. You know? And sorry about that, guys. The camera just randomly shut off. So anyway, yeah, we were talking about riding our lanes and everything else. That's another very important point to get across to everyone. Please just give us our room. You know, even if we're in a pack or by ourselves, give us our lane. And a lot of accidents will be avoided that way.
Yeah, in my younger days, Joe, my younger days, I did ride on the right side. In my younger days, yeah.
Okay.
But I got ran off the road.
I could see that.
A car come around the vehicle behind me and ran me right off the road into the ditch. So that's when I started riding the left side because that made them see me better and that. So yeah, that's why I ride the left side now.
All right, awesome.
But the only time I don't ride the left side is when we're in a big group.
Okay.
Because when we're riding as a group, I got promoted again not last year. Yeah, last year. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. I got promoted to our local regional coordinator. So I'm in charge of Region 18, which is Monroe and Lenawee County. And being in charge of Monroe and Lenawee County as the RC, when we do rides, I get the honor of being up front. So I think it makes me a better target for everybody behind me, I guess. But I get to be up front. So as being up front, I ride on the right side where our chief road captain rides on the left side to give instructions to everybody behind us with his hand signals on what we're going to be doing at intersections. So, yeah, up until 2 years ago, I always rode on the left side.
Right.
2 or 3 bikes back, but now I ride on the right side up front.
You know, that's one thing I think we should touch on just real quick. When we do our group rides, you know, a lot of people will say, well, we're breaking the law, like when we send blockers out to block traffic when we're pulling out and everything else. A lot of people don't understand that's for our own safety.
Right. It's a very gray spot. It is a very gray spot. Do you break the law to protect all your brothers and sisters when you're riding in a group? Because there is no technically law on blocking traffic.
Right.
But we also, when we ride as a group, we ride like a funeral procession. If the first bikes go through an intersection, all the bikes behind them follow them.
Yep.
That way we stay together as a group and we're not spread out 4 or 5 miles long trying to do some kind of run with a bunch of cars in between us.
Right.
So when we send out blockers, yeah, it's a gray area, but most people just sit there and smile and that, and look, check out the bikes.
Yeah.
I mean, as a bike rider, because I believe the reason you're watching this is you're either a bike rider or you're wanting to become a bike rider.
Yeah.
There is a lot of beautiful bikes out there. There's a lot of different kinds of bikes out there and that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I tell the kids. Just sit there, be patient, check out the bikes, some pretty looking bikes. I also joke around. There's a lot of hot looking biker women out there. Is there not?
No, there is.
We somehow, bikers, get some of the hottest looking women on motorcycles. And then we get our average looking women too. But bikers usually have just, guys, check out the girls on the bikes. And ladies, check out the guys riding the bikes. There's a lot of handsome guys out there riding motorcycles. I'm not one of them, I'll admit to that.
Me either.
But there's a lot of handsome guys out there on motorcycles. So, you know, you see a group of bikes coming through, just sit there and watch them. Check them out.
Another thing is when we do these group rides, it's normally like a charity ride or a funeral or it's something to help out or...
Oh yeah, it's 99% of our rides, our group rides, is a benefit ride for something. Somebody or something.
Yep.
Or it's like, this is May, Memorial Day. Memorial weekend, you will see a lot of groups of bikes out there. Because there's a lot of groups that are the veterans that ride.
Yep.
On that, and there's a lot of ABATE has a lot of veterans in them. There's a lot of like firemen organizations. The axemen are be out riding. The policemen have their groups.
Yeah.
They'll be out riding. Because Memorial Day weekend is a weekend to remember our fallen brothers and sisters of all of our organizations. So ABATE will be doing a big Memorial Day ride on Memorial Weekend.
Yep.
Well, a bunch of us get together. We'll go to all the veteran spots in Monroe, Lenawee County, and then we go to a couple of the cemeteries to visit the members who've passed away in the last year.
Yeah.
We can't go visit everybody that's passed away because we're an old organization.
Too big.
More of us are dying than staying alive. So, and we also are looking for a whole bunch of new members to join ABATE. So if you're interested in what we're talking about and what Brian's talked about in the past and that, go to the website, check out ABATE of Michigan, and you can go down and check out your local regions. There is 22 regions in the state.
Yep.
So you can check out where you live on what, you just punch in your address and that, and it will take you to the region you belong to, I believe.
I think so.
And you can check out the region you belong to and go talk to them. Go sit in one of their monthly meetings and check more out about the awareness programs and the other programs that we have going on.
Oh, yeah. Like in the first video, I told them, like, I had my cut on and I showed the flyers. I was like, please don't be afraid to come up and talk. You know, see me pumping gas or something, you see me on the road, you want to flag me over, and I'll give you a flyer. We can talk about it real quick and then go about our day.
You know, I've been teaching motorcycle awareness since 2002.
Oh, jeez. year I graduated.
I've been teaching motorcycle awareness classes since '02. Started out, like I said, locally, and then as time gone, I moved up. But I've been walking through the mall,
Yeah.
wearing my hats. I tell the kids in that, wearing my leather
Yep.
vest, my colors.
Yep.
Well, we're not colors.
No.
Our just our
Patch.
our patches, but my vest. And I've been walking through the mall, and I've had kids come up to me 10, 12 years later
Oh, really?
as adults. I had one guy come up to me, and he called me out by my road name. I turned around, he come up to me, and he had his, it looked like 11-year-old boy. And he said, in a few years, my son's going to be going through driver's ed, and I told him he had to make sure he was there for your class.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yes, I've had students many years later, because believe it or not, I haven't changed.
Not as long as I've known you.
I've lost a few pounds, because in my younger days I was a little heavier,
All right.
but I haven't changed. I look the same as I do now, probably about the same as I graduated high school, and that, except for the difference is, may give you some better things to talk about.
Yeah. Well, this is also your first time being on the camera.
Yes, it is.
So.
You ought to see me the first time I taught a class. I was nervous as hell. But you get over that real fast.
Oh, well, yeah. Especially like when we went out to Novi. Going around to all the different booths and everything else.
Yes. Yeah, let's talk about that. You know, how we're able to fund ABATE Michigan to keep our organization going, because we're a nonprofit, is by donations.
Yep.
A lot of donations really help us out. We have organizations that will donate to the political part of us in Lansing, who's fighting for all of our bikers' rights. Your rights, my rights, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
We fight for all bikers' rights.
Yep.
And then some people donate just for awareness for the education department.
Yep.
For us, for me, to help me keep the classes going by purchasing the stuff that we give away, which gets real expensive too. But also, we do a bike raffle.
Yep.
Every year. We start it in January and it runs through August. And in September, we give away a brand new motorcycle. Last couple years, ABATE has done a choice between a Harley Davidson Street Glide
Yep.
or an Indian Chief.
I thought it was the Chieftain.
Chieftain.
Yeah, it's the bigger one.
Yeah. You get a choice. Winner's choice. Second place is $300. Fourth place is $200. No, second place. Third place is $200. And fourth place is $100. So for a $10 donation for a bike ticket, you have a chance of winning four different items.
Yep.
There's less than 10,000 tickets sold a year.
Yeah.
Last year, I think we sold 6,800.
Something like that.
The
I can't
year
remember.
before that, I think we sold almost 88.
It was over 8,000. We
The
sold the year.
You're right. So we've never sold the whole 10,000 tickets. So buying a bike ticket from ABATE members to help keep our organization going is better than buying a lottery ticket.
Well, better odds.
Better
Yeah.
odds.
Yep.
So anybody out there can help us out for the awareness program, for all we do. Purchase a ticket. Get a hold of any ABATE member through the state. We all got tickets on us.
Yep.
Just get a hold of us and buy a ticket. Help us out. Or if you go to the website, you will see a lady in charge of it. It's the bike raffle.
Yep.
Contact her. She will be happy to sell you a ticket and get one sent to you.
Yep.
All right? That's a part of helping us keep educating kids, young adults, on how to look out for us bikers and how to keep the programs at the community college going. It helps ABATE out tremendously, especially education,
Oh, yeah.
because the paper, the tests, all the stuff we give to children, our organization pays for. The state does not give ABATE any money towards education on driver ed safety courses.
Right.
So we do it all on our own. And if our regions don't have money and we have no donations, us instructors pay for it out of our pockets to make sure we have the stuff to teach the kids. And as May is Motorcycle Awareness, if you could put a yard sign in your yard, if you would want to get a bumper sticker or a magnet, we have some magnets.
Yep.
Anything you would like to purchase to help aware for May is Motorcycle Awareness through the whole state of Michigan, please contact an ABATE member, a local ABATE member, and they will get you what you need.
Yep. Any of us will help you out. Any of us. So.
Again, anybody interested in joining ABATE and helping us out, I'm always looking for more teachers, more people to educate. And I believe that bikers are the best teachers for bike awareness.
Yes.
I don't believe these driver's ed schools who don't ride should be teaching kids on how to look out for us, because we are the best teachers for what we do.
Through experience.
Right.
Through experience. So, well, I think that'll just about wrap it up. Poor Kristen's going to have fun editing all this.
I hope so. I hope she does a good job making me look halfway decent.
But all right, guys, that's it for today. Remember, keep the rubber down, sunny side up, and be safe out there. Look twice, save a life.
Thank you, everybody. Again, look twice, save a life. Look out for us bikers.
All right, guys, see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.